So, the spoilers are out for My Hero Academia manga chapter 333, and let's just say that a lot of people are going to be upset about this chapter because Hirokoshi did the thing that no one wanted Hirokoshi to do with a particular character, and we'll talk about more about what that is right after this. Hey guys, how's it going? It is your boy, Manga Man Drew, and I'm here to cover the spoilers for My Hero Academia manga chapter 333 titled Apparition. And if you don't know what apparition is, it's kind of like a ghost, kind of like a paranormal figure. Heck, you could say that it's a vestige. Yeah, when it comes to what we see in the spoilers and most likely what's going to be in this chapter, yes, that title fits very well. So, in this video, we are going to go over the spoilers for this most recent chapter of My Hero Academia. We have the text spoilers, we have the image spoilers. So with that, let's go right into it because there's a lot that goes on in this chapter and it's probably going to somewhat shock you and somewhat not shock you at all. So the chapter will begin with Shigaraki / All For One saying that he is absolutely did not want New Order to meet One For All, and that furthermore his original plan was to steal One For All first and then go after New Order, but because Star and Stripe was reckless, it threatened the scenario that he wanted to make reality and forced him to act even with his body in an incomplete state. So we do get a little bit more from what is going on with All For One / Shigaraki when it comes to his plan, and it becomes a little bit more clear on what his plan is. But yeah, what Star did really put a hindrance on his plan because he elaborates that he needed it to go in this certain order and that Star and Stripe is ruining it. And we're going to see how Star and Stripe is going to ruin it even more because she just did a very smart thing. And now we got the next line of text spoilers talking about how Shigaraki has his hand on her face and says that this is it. He stole New Order. In the last second, Star still has time to create an order. Kathleen Bate will not be turned into dust, but it fails because that goes beyond the limit of physical improvement she can give to herself. All For One says that she could have protected her body or her quirk since she couldn't create a rule that covers both, and ended up choosing her own body. He says that he has won, and that now he really will be able to create the fantastic world of comic books that he read with his brother. So yeah, pretty much this kind of confirms that Kathleen Bate, aka Cassie, aka Star and Stripe, is dying and that her quirk was taken, and we get a little bit more context to what All For One want, and it's sort of to create a world similar to the comic books. And if we remember what that world is most likely going to be, it is going to be a world ruled by the villains and won't be saved by the heroes. So, and the fact that he needed One For All first and then needed Star and Stripe's New Order could imply that potentially One For All would have boosted New Order to the point for Shigaraki All For One to achieve his dream. So that's something to think about and potentially a part of his plan. And for what we see with the next line of text spoilers, he apparently tries to use New Order as he says, "New Order, the atmosphere will." But before he can finish the sentence, he finds himself in the vestige world face to face with Star and Stripe. Then Shigaraki's body begins to twitch and then explodes. She says that she realized that blowing up her friend's jet would not be enough to kill Shiggy, so she created a rule directly on her quirk. New Order will revolt against other quirks. We then see a page showing a monstrous version of Star fighting multiple silhouettes inside the vestiges of All For One. So this is very interesting because it means that in the moment before Star and Stripe was touched by Shigaraki, she actually implemented two of her rules, one to save her body and one to save her quirk. Which is interesting to see that because we do see that she was able to add a New Order on her quirk, but she wasn't able to do it on herself, which is very interesting, and it kind of plays into the idea that that was her plan all along. And then from there, as you've seen, we do see a vestige of Star and Stripe actually destroying these quirks, as we see with the next line of text spoiler saying that she says that she didn't let her quirk be stolen to protect herself, but rather to finish off All For One from within himself. Between putting an end to a global threat and getting out of this fight alive, the answer couldn't be more obvious. She thanks her friends for all they have done for her so far. All for One can't get around the situation because all he can do is steal and give quirks. He can't simply delete them. He even considers giving them to the pilots, but they shoot him with the lasers. They say that Star is still fighting until now, that they can't let her sacrifice be in vain. So yeah, at this moment, All for One is getting very desperate to the point where he's thinking of giving it up altogether, but unfortunately he won't be able to do it because the fighter pilots are going to try and help her in any way that they can, even if it means just stalling out All for One and Shigaraki until Star and Stripe is able to destroy all of the quirks. Because later on, we have the next line of text where they say All for One even thinks about doing something to stop the lasers, but the inner Star and Stripe has just destroyed the reflect quirk. And while Star and Stripe is almost fully turned into dust, she thanks All Might. He is the one who saved her and introduced her to this wonderful dream, and now she's returned the favor. And the final line of text bullets say that Shigaraki / All for One is desperate, saying that he needs to find a way out as soon as possible. He calls Star the haunting image of All Might, and the lasers keep shooting at him while the Nomu is flying nearby. End of chapter. So that's all the spoilers that we have, and yeah, it's very interesting to see how Star and Stripe is being used in this situation. Yes, even though she is introduced relatively later on in the series, we still are hinted at her with that silhouette almost 30 chapters ago, so it's not like she came out of nowhere. But the fact is, she and her quirk are actually, in a way, nerfing Shigaraki, nerfing All for One, having him have less quirks to deal with and not being able to use Star and Stripe's quirk effectively. And from what we're seeing in the spoilers, most likely what's going to happen next chapter is that he's going to give the quirk to the Nomu, which would make the quirk almost useless because the Nomu most likely won't be able to use it because, you know, it can't speak. But also it would lead to Shigaraki All for One being nerfed significantly to the point where there are certain quirks that he won't be able to use. Now, we don't know all the quirks that All for One has, but the fact that he has a lot less quirks means that he will be easier to defeat, and if he doesn't have New Order, then it means that the heroes still have a chance of being able to defeat him. So at the very least, Star and Stripe does serve the purpose of doing what she was supposed to, which is crippling Shigaraki and All for One in one way or another, if not for her quirk, with her sheer determination and being very similar to All Might. So yeah, that's all the spoilers that we have for right now. Hopefully you enjoyed them. Hopefully you're going to go out and read the chapter when it officially releases on Sunday, because that's the best way to support the official release. So I urge you to do that. And if you like this type of content, why not subscribe to my YouTube channel? I cover the spoilers for My Hero Academia. I do manga discussions as well as I do manga reviews whenever the chapters come out. So if that's something that you're interested in and you want to see more content like that, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to leave a like on the video to show that you like this type of content as well. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification button to be notified of when I upload more content like this. Do all that cool jazz, and hopefully I'll be able to catch you in my next video. Goodbye!